19mm socket, remove all 5 of your lug nuts, and then remove the wheel. Then with a rubber mallet from the backside, hit the tire, not the rim. That'll help break it free. Okay. Now take off your safety lug nut and remove the wheel. Once the wheel's off, remove the caliper. There's 2 bolts, 2 15mm bolts on the back. There's one down here. One at the top here. Take your caliper and bracket off. Set them aside up here. That way it doesn't put any pressure on the brake hose. Next, there's a T30 Torx screw here. Go ahead and remove that. A lot of times if you don't have an impact gun, an impact screwdriver comes in handy. These can be pretty stuck here. Now you just take your rotor and pull it right off. If it's frozen on here onto the hub, you can hammer in between the studs. Just be careful not to hit them. Perfect. Unplug your ABS sensor. Next, 36mm socket, remove your axle nut. Okay, and now you want to make sure that it pushes through the hub, which it doesn't, so I'm going to get a punch and a hammer. You want to put the punch in the center of it and drive it through. From the backside, you'll see 4 bolts holding the wheel bearing on. They're all 13mm, one here, one here, one here, and one there, basically one on each corner. So let's take those all out. Now for the rest of them, it'll be best, for me at least, to remove them by hand, or at least break them free by hand. If your bolt, as it comes out, it gets stuck, a lot of times it's because there's rust on the thread. So now that I got it out until the point where it's about to get stuck, I'm going to thread it back on, spray it with some rust penetrant, and then just work it back and forth, in and out. Eventually, it should break free and come out all the way. There's bolt number 3. This is the trickiest one of them all, just because there is not much room in here. But as long as your socket and ratchet fit on there, you're good to go. And add an extension. You want to come in behind the shock. That'll probably be the easiest area to get to it. There is bolt number 4. Disconnect the parking brake lever, and that's going to allow me to pull the whole backing plate off because this hub is most likely seized in there, and I'll have to drive the hub and bearing out of the backing plate on the ground, which means I have to take off the parking brake shoes. So with a pair of locking pliers, I'm trying to remove this spring up top here. With a pick, I'm going to try and remove this spring here. Okay. Next, there's another spring on the bottom. There's these retainers here, little pin and a spring, kind of like a clip. I'm going to press on the spring and turn the pin. That pops it out. Remove that completely. Now this shoe is free. I'm going to pull my pin out through the back and save it for reinstallation. I'm going to do the same to this side. Basically what I'm trying to do is turn this pin so that it matches up with the slot. And once it does, it all pops out. Take the pin out from the back. Now this shoe is free as well. Perfect. Take the 2 shoes, spread them apart. I'm trying to remove the spring too, keep that safe as well. I'm going to take a pry bar and put it in here. And basically I'm trying to pry this shoe off of this parking brake lever. There we go. Now you can take this, flip it around, remove it, remove this one as well, and remove your spring, set those aside. Let's remove this bolt here that holds the parking brake cable with a 13mm socket, and on the other side you'll have to actually hold a nut with a 13mm wrench. Just remove this whole bolt completely. That'll free up the cable. All right, and there's a little hook here that has to come free. Perfect. Now I'm going to use this special tool here. You'll see there's 3 little tabs around this cable that goes through this bracket, and you can do it without this tool, but this actually just helps squeeze them all at the same time. You can use a screwdriver or a little pick, but it gets a little more complicated. All right, now you can squeeze those, push it through, unhook the cable from this lever. Now you can pull this cable through and release it from the knuckle. I put in a bolt on the back here just to hold this on while I was disconnecting the cable. So I'm going to remove that bolt, and then this whole backing plate and wheel bearing's ready to come off. All right, looks like I'm going to have to punch the axle through again. As I'm pulling this out, I'm going to try and drive the axle in. There we go. Now, yes, I was using a steel hammer right on the end of this, but it's actually tapered in, so I wasn't hammering hard. I didn't do much damage at all to the threads. So I have this large rotor here that I had laying around. You might have to get creative if this happens to you, but basically what I'm hoping to do is put this in here, hold it by the backing plate, heat it up, and then hammer this wheel bearing through. Basically, this has to break free from this. And before I heat it up, I'm just going to disconnect this wire here. That way I don't melt it. And my new bearing comes with a new one, so I'm just going to cut it off. Set that aside. I already sprayed it with rust penetrant, and I'm going to be careful of this boot here. I'm not going to heat up around here. I don't want to destroy that boot. I'm going to punch these studs out. That'll give me a little bit more clearance here. Perfect. That's what I needed. Here's our backing plate. We can clean this up and reinstall it. Here's our old wheel bearing, old lug studs. All this can be recycled. Now I'm going to take a wire brush and scrub the rest of this crusty paint and rust off and whatever else is in here. I just want to prevent any of these flakes from getting onto the brakes. Just remove the large debris. Make sure you go all around. And I'm going to do the same thing on the back. And the reason you want to do this is I don't really care about this part, but I care about right here because this is what mounts flush onto the knuckle. So if it doesn't mount flush, if it has rust flakes or chunks or debris in there, it's going to sit at an angle, and then everything else is going to sit at an angle, your brakes, your wheel, everything. So it's important that you get this part clean. Just remove the large debris, like I said earlier. Before I put the backing plate back in, I just want to clean up this area. You can see it has some little flakies sticking up here, some debris up here. Don't worry, I'll clean it off the axle too. Clean up the corrosion. This is an aluminum knuckle and you're putting on a steel backing plate, so the two types of metals don't really like to hang out together for too long before they start corroding. And again, you just want to have a flat surface here for everything to mount on so everything can be properly attached. Just going to give it a little spray with some brake parts cleaner. This will degrease and then rinse all the junk off. Let's get underneath the axle. And want to make sure you get all that off. Perfect. Let's let that dry. Now I'm going to spray this down with a little bit of anti-seize. Not a lot, just enough to prevent some rust and corrosion from building up. I'm also going to put some on the splines of the axle while I have access to it easily. Now you can slide this backing plate on. At the same time, reinstall your bearing and make sure that the ABS wire goes through the little hole, and slide it up and over, or slide the axle shaft into the bearing. Make sure the splines line up. There we go. And try to line up the bolt holes the best you can. It's not always easy. Start in one of your bolts just to hold it all together. And it's easiest if you pull it back out so you can look from behind and see where the bolt is. There's one. All right, get that one started. Let's put in all the rest of them. Before I go too far, it'll be easiest to reconnect this parking brake cable with this still moving around just because I have more wiggle room. Slide the cable onto this arm and make sure it goes on all the way. All right, so that's on. Now lock the cable in. Everything is properly secured here. Let's reattach the cable up on the trailing arm here. Hook it onto where it needs to go. Slide the bolt through, and then there's a nut on the other side. That's what holds the other end of the bolt in. Snug them down. All right, that's nice and snug. Okay, now with our 13mm socket, once they're all started, let's snug them all up. That's one. Okay, I'm going to go in a cross pattern, that way I make sure that it's fully seated. All right, I'm going to torque them at the end. Now let's torque these to 52 foot-pounds, and I'm still going to go in kind of a cross pattern to make sure I evenly seat this whole hub and wheel bearing onto the knuckle. Okay, put on the axle nut, snug it up, and then we'll torque it to 151 foot-pounds. So I have my pry bar set up so that it can prevent the hub from spinning. 151 foot-pounds. Now let's plug it in. I'm going to grease up these indented areas here. That's where the parking brake shoe rides up against the back. And I'm also going to put some grease down here on this parking brake lever, as well as this bottom retainer. Go all the way around, make sure there's grease on both sides. Don't put a lot, but you just want enough to coat it so that the shoes can slide easily when they need to. I'm going to start with this shoe right here. Put this pin through the back side. Put the pin through the back side and make sure it goes through the hole in the shoe. Now you can take this spring retainer here. This is what's going to lock in your pin. It's got a hole on one side, and then the other side is a cutout that fits the pin in only one direction. So bring that through, and this is where I like to use locking pliers or needle nose pliers, whatever you might have. There we go. There we go. That's locked in too. Now take this spring, make sure you bring it up and through over the parking brake lever. Hook it onto that hole. And now I take a pair of locking pliers, hook them on really tight, stretch the spring into the other hole, make sure it's seated, let go. That one's fully seated. I'm going to take a screwdriver on this side and just pop it into its hole. Perfect. Now for the top, you have this adjuster here, and what you want to do is take it apart and clean it. It's not very dirty or corroded. This one's in good condition, but I still suggest cleaning it. Clean out this old grease in here. Pop out both ends, and I'll clean them up in the wire brush. Take some grease, grease up the threads now that this is all clean, and thread it in. Thread it into the rest of this adjuster here. The grease will automatically kind of work its way in, and then the excess will come out. And I like to take the excess, put it in on the other side. And that's where this piece goes. Now that this is all greased up, let's get it in between those two shoes. Now you want to take this, slide it in between these two shoes. Perfect. Now take this spring. This one is slightly damaged, but I don't have a new one, so I'll have to reuse this one. It still holds the pads together properly, so it's not an issue. And with a screwdriver, I'm going to expand it, hook it in. Perfect. Go ahead and apply some anti-seize to this hub. I'm going to use the spray kind, so I'm covering the parking brake shoes. That way I don't get any on the braking material. If you have the brushed kind, that one might be a little bit better in this situation. Now take your rotor, line up the securing screw with the hole on the hub, and put that in. This was a T30 Torx bit. This doesn't have to be extremely tight, it just has to be snug enough to hold the rotor in place for you. Perfect. Now slide the caliper on, make sure the pads go over the rotor, just like that. Line it up in the back, and let's install the two bolts. Okay, start on this one, and then the top one. Start on the top one, and let's snug them up. Snug these up, and then torque them to 89 foot-pounds. 89. 89. Reinstall your wheel. Okay, 100 foot-pounds in a cross pattern. Double check it.